Alright everybody, hello and welcome. As always, I am Sean. This is In The Mixer as we continue our hashtag United series in Football Manager 2019. Now, for those of you that are new to the channel, didn't catch the Bournemouth series, didn't catch the now mysterious Rebuilding the Burger series that has now been taken down from the channel for a couple of different reasons. Whenever we play during the Christmas period, during December, we always do something special, and that is... oh yes, now it feels like a Christmas episode. Definitely starting to get value for money for what I paid for this suit. So it might be Christmas in-game, and we are actually getting close to Christmas now in real life as well. We're pretty much caught up to the actual real-life date that this video will come out of in-game. I couldn't possibly ask for much for Christmas because I've been truly blessed over the first 15 games of the season. 13 wins, 2 draws, plus 34 goal difference, an 11-point gap with the nearest team to us, Braintree Town Reserves, who we actually beat in our most recent game. Since that last episode where we played Maine Baker and Norwich United in our League Cup quarter-final, we beat Little Oakley 3-1, we beat Fire United 5-1 with essentially our reserve side, and then we beat Braintree Town Reserves, who at the time were actually second in the league, and still are, funnily enough, 2-0 in a commanding performance. Like, I don't think they had a shot on target the entire match. Harry Honesty and Daniel Adji getting the goals for us in that one. Adji, a late sub, came on, did really well. And if we look at our competition performances... not only are we top of the division, the top goal scorer in the division is Tashi in Richmond. He also has the highest average rating in the division. Charlie Morley has the most assists in the division. Both Harry Honesty and Tashi in Richmond are tied for the most player of the match awards in the division. We have scored the most goals, we've conceded the fewest goals, and we have the lowest yellow card ranking of any team. So things are going about as well as anybody possibly could have asked for this point of the season. But if I was going to ask for one more gift, just one more small thing to put under the tree for this year, it would be a cup final appearance in the Eastern Counties League Cup final. We are one game away from that. We're going to play Thetford Town today, who are in the division above us, but they are struggling a little bit as well. Currently sitting in 15th, they're not in great form. You can see here they've only got 4 or 5 players, actual players in their squad, and one of them's injured. So it's probably as good an opportunity as we're going to get to make it into the final of this competition, to get into our first final within the series itself, and hopefully get our first piece of silverware to start filling up that hashtag United trophy cabinet. In the other game, we will play Holland, who are currently sitting 7th in the division. Don't look like a bad team. I just like the name of the club, to be entirely honest. But Thetford will be the massive game today, and I don't want to waste too much time. Let's get stuck straight into it. Alright, let's first go through the Thetford Town lineup here. Most of them are hidden behind my head. It's Barford in goal, Donnelly and Bailey as the central defenders, Flynn and Austin as the fullbacks, Evans in front of them playing as the deep-lying defensive midfielder, Collicutt and Aspen ahead of him, Herdman on the left, Flitney on the right, and Sutton up top. For us, it's going to be Cade Watts in goal, Tom Williams on the left, Brougham on the right, Harrison and Stamp in as the central defensive partnership there. Farai Singano, who's usually played right back for us, is actually back and available for selection, but I don't want to rush him. He's only just come back in the last few days, and to be fair, Kane Brougham hasn't done anything wrong in any of the appearances that he's made so far this season. I think his average rating is like 7.8 across 6 or 7 appearances. Evans and Hersett will anchor midfield. The good news about our midfield area is that Tekka's Guru is now back as well. He's played about 30 minutes off the bench in his first appearance for the club itself, and then he played 90 minutes in that 5-1 demolition of Fire United. I don't think he's on the level of Evans or Hersett at the moment, but still, it's great that we have that depth now. We have someone that can bring off the bench that is a specialised central midfielder, and we aren't having to shuffle around our defensive line as much to accommodate when they're not playing well. Tashi and Richmond, so far our player of the season at the 10, Harry Honesty on the left wing, Charlie Morley on the right, and Dan Brown up top. The other subs are Jamie Jackson, Jamil Hakeem, Tekka's Guru, who we spoke about, Ryan Adams, and Daniel Adji. It's a chance to be in a cup final. I'm just going to say passionately, you deserve to be in the final, and I expect you to make it happen. We spoke a little bit in the last episode about how our club reputation is so much higher than everybody else around this level. We're always going to go into these games, despite them being in higher division, as favourites. But as we saw in the last game against Norwich United, it's way closer than that in terms of actual footballing ability. Alright, immediately they have a throw in. Flynn to take on the left-hand side. Finds Sutton. It's across and flicked out from Flitney to Austin on the right-hand side. He gets it back in and Marcus Stamp heads away. Collicutt back to Evans. Switches the ball really well out to Flynn. They're stretching us as much as they can. Morley with a decent challenge. He clears now to Harry Honesty. Are we going to get away here? Harrison with a long ball forward. Dan Brown has gotten him behind. Can he take a decent touch and find the finish? The touch bar was there, but the finish wasn't quite, and he just screws that one left-hand side of the post. But still, encouraging. It's a straight-up long ball over the top from a centre-back to a striker, but if they're going to continue to play that high line, it's certainly something we can look at trying to make the most of. Now again, I do know that there's quite a few new people watching this series. Where I've been a small channel forever, there's always going to be new people watching episodes for the first time. If you aren't familiar, I live in Melbourne, Australia. It is currently summer here, and it is not the ideal time to be wearing a polyester suit jacket. As fantastic as I look, it is very, very warm. So hopefully the team will be able to reward my sacrifice and what I do to make them great content by getting some goals here and pushing us through into that cup final. All right, throw in again here to Thetford Town, similar to where the last highlight started up, and that one ended one for us, but this is actually going to be a goal for Thetford. Gareth Flitney with a goal assisted by Simon Flynn. It's just a deep ball across. It's kind of shades of some of the goals we were conceding early on in the season where it's a fullback in a deeper position. Sutton just plays it back to him. It's a first-time ball, to be fair. And Flitney, despite being crowded out by 3 defenders, gets his header on target and beats Andy Cade-Watts. So let's use a shout here. And let's just say demand more, I think. It'd be the best way to go about it. And everybody's responded really well to that. Every single player out there, which is great to see. So we are getting towards the half an hour mark now. They've only had one shot, the one on target, and 40% possession, but they are leading the game 1-0, which is the most important stat. We've had 5 shots without getting one on target thus far and 60% of possession, but we haven't really seen that many highlights other than that first one we saw for Dan Brown right at the start. Collicutt in midfield has picked up a yellow card for them. That'll be something to keep an eye on. And it looks like they've had some unsuccessful shouts used by their manager on the touchline as well. Hopefully that can play into us getting a couple of opportunities. Here we go, highlight again. Again, it's starting with a throw-in from a fullback. It's won back well by Williams, who plays the ball up the line towards Dan Brown. He just needs to hold the ball up and bring others into play. He's played a ball in behind towards Tashan Richmond, who's got Harry Honesty inside, and Harry just had to get that one on target. There wasn't that much to aim at for him. He was a decent strike and just over, but a decent combination between Richmond, Brown and Honesty there. So we can tear them apart on that counter when we need to. Lee Hurst's now picked up a yellow card. We'll have to keep an eye on that. 5 minutes remaining. Can we find an equaliser between now and half time? I'm not going to change anything in terms of tactics or structures or using shouts. I'm just going to see how we go for the last minute. It's not the worst thing in the world to go in a goal down at half time. Obviously, you'd rather be winning, but at least we know what our team talk will be in that situation. Charlie Morley now picking up a yellow card. All right, straight into the dressing room. Aggressive. We haven't had to pull out the hairdryer that much. Where is your passion, lads? Do you even want to win this match? Everybody's responded really well. I'm also going to tell Dan Brown I'm looking for you to make the difference, and he looks happy with that, which is good. He hasn't performed quite to the level that I thought he would. Being a 4.5-star player in this side, I really thought he'd have a bit more about him. Second half kicks off. We're going to see an immediate highlight, or is it just going to be, it's a corner for Thetford. Give it about 10-15 minutes, then we'll have a look at bringing on some subs. Austin with a deep ball across. It is headed back across goal by Flitney. And Cade-Watts got across to it wide. He didn't need to. It was never going on target. Austin to take the corner on the other side. Deep one again. Sutton headed away by Harry Honesty. To Sutton again and then cleared by Tashan Richmond. Let's use a shout. Let's demand more. See who responds. We already used it once and it worked alright. Everyone's focused again. Give them 10 more minutes. Then we'll see where we're at in terms of match ratings. A couple of these yellow cards I'm concerned about. We do have Ryan Adams on the bench for Charlie Morley. Doesn't look like Dan Brown's having the greatest game either. And Daniel Adjie has been scoring for fun in the League Cup competition. The only one we have to keep an eye on really is Lee Hurst, though Tekka's Guru is there as well. I'm not sure if I'll make all 3 subs at once. But I guess a goal down with 30 minutes remaining, you kind of have to gamble a little bit and get as much out there as you can. Alright, so we're in the 57th minute. Let's pause there. Okay, so we're going to gamble a little bit. We're going to bring Ryan Adams on for Charlie Morley on the right-hand side. We're going to bring Daniel Adjie on for Dan Brown up top. And I've moved Ricky Evans back to centre-back and pushed Jack Harrison up into midfield. Harrison's having an alright game. Ricky Evans is not. Hopefully that can be enough. And then we're also going to use another shout. We are going to say, get creative. And we do have another substitute up our sleeve. I am concerned about Lee Hurst's performance, to be completely honest, but if Ricky Evans doesn't start going up in terms of match rating from that 6.3, he may be the one that we sacrifice to bring on like Jamal Akeem. Okay, Adams, Richmond, Honesty and Agi have all responded really well to the get creative shout. Hopefully that means we can do something a little bit more. I'm also going to move from our positive formation into our attacking structure. We have had 13 shots. We've only got 2 of them on target. That's probably our big issue. We've created a bunch of stuff. On their side, only Flitney's had a good game. Here we go. I've got to throw in immediately to Williams. Into Harry Honesty. It comes back out to Williams again. Probably the best crosser that we have. Instead, he goes to the top of the box to Jack Harrison, who switches it out to Kane Brogham, who's on his own, hangs the ball up to Agi, knocks it down for Ryan Adams, and that is his 6th goal of the season and a fantastic equaliser for us. Might make one more quick sub, I think. It's a good ball here, and that's fantastic from Jack Harrison, spotting Kane Brogham on his own on the right-hand side. Hangs the ball up. Agi, rather than trying to force it to goal, knocks it down for Ryan Adams, and on his wrong foot, his left peg, he smacks that one home at near post. And if you're looking at the stat line, you'd say it's probably deserved, but stats don't mean a tremendous amount in football, to be entirely truthful. All right, so they've gone 2-1 up in the 74th minute, which is very disappointing, particularly given that it's come from a dead ball. We've immediately got a highlight after I've demanded more from everyone. Adams has won the ball back, finds Daniel Agi, he's got a man over, finds Ryan Adams instead. Can he get a ball in towards Harry Honesty? And Harry Honesty, his 11th goal of the season. Phenomenal assist from Ryan Adams, who, to be fair, is playing the role of super sub this season absolutely fantastically. It's good interplay in behind here. Not sure what Daniel Agi was actually looking for. It hit that defender on the way through. Adams gets a hold of it. It's a phenomenal ball across. And Harry Honesty at backstick makes it perhaps more difficult looking than he needed to. But that one runs pretty much straight down the middle of the goal itself. All right, so we've got 15 minutes to go. We've come back twice now from 1-goal deficits. Do we have a winner in us? I'm going to wait until we get to about 10 minutes remaining, and then I'm going to use the get creative shout again. Or maybe I can use it now. I can. Oh, they've got a free kick. Set pieces have hurt us in this game. It's headed away by Williams. Honesty's going to come out now. Do we have a counter-attack ahead of us? Just keep carrying the ball, Harry. Oh, he looks for a crossfield switch towards Ryan Adams. Can he get his strike on target? He just screws that one left of the far post. Superb from Harry Honesty, though. Carried the ball a long, long way. Fantastic switch across. We're into the last 15. Let's use one more shout and say get creative. Demand more and get creative. I know it's not the most entertaining thing to watch because I'm just doing the same 2 each time, but they keep working, so why wouldn't I? And we've immediately got a highlight here. Comes back to Ricky Evans, who goes all the way back to Andy Cade-Watts in goals. Long ball forward. No one challenges, and Donnelly heads it back. Marcus Stamp wins the rebound header. Tashan Richmond with it now. Looking for Ryan Adams in the... Oh, he's hung that one back up for Harry Honesty. It's a bit overhit, though. He comes across to Tom Williams, who gets a backstick ball in towards... Oh, Ryan Adams nearly returned the favour for Daniel Agi there, knocking the ball down for the big man, but he blazes over from 6 yards. I'm not sure, to be completely honest, if this game goes to a replay or extra time or penalties if it remains 2-2. Tekka's Guru has picked up a yellow card, mainly his only contribution so far, other than being too short in the wall. Donnelly's been their best player with an 8.3. Obviously, a goal to his name helps with that, but you can see he's won quite a bit in the air as well in what we've seen from highlights. Flitney, the other one, doing well for them. Everyone's body language is really good. Everyone's confident. We're killing it on the stat lines. We're killing it on possession at the moment as well. I don't want to change anything else in terms of tactics because I feel like that's too much to do in a single game. Don't have any subs left. We just kind of have to sit here and hope that we can find another highlight in the last 5 minutes of this match. A lot of these players that we're coming up against aren't actual players. They're greyed out players in the game. And it is frustrating that they are probably giving us the biggest challenge that we've faced so far this season. And I guess in semi-final of any competition, that's to be expected. 4 minutes to be added on. Is there anything else we have in us? Can I use get creative again? Can I just keep using that? Because it seems to work for us. As soon as it comes out, we get some sort of highlight. Is there going to be any late drama here in the last 90 seconds of extra time? Everyone's responded well to the shout. They just keep working. And we are probably now at the end of extra or injury time. It's going to go to penalties, which is frankly terrifying if I'm being completely honest. Let's just set him to auto pick. Looks like Andy Cade-Watts is a better penalty taker as a goalkeeper than Kane Brogham, Marcus Stamp or Harry Honesty. Given that Harry Honesty has scored about 10 goals or 11 goals already this season, that one is super interesting. Now we have to hope. We're going to the lottery that is a penalty shootout, particularly in a non-league level. It's going to be Austin to take the first one for Thetford Town. Come on, Andy. Oh, and he guesses the right way, just doesn't get there. So we're going to take a big performance from our captain here. Tom Williams will take our first penalty of the match. Here's our best penalty taker. The left peg sends the keeper guesses the right way, but doesn't get there in time. Donnelly now, who was so fantastic for them, and I think probably player of the match in this game, he goes to the same side every time. So far, all 3 penalties have been to the right-hand side. Adams now, probably the next one that's able to take a penalty for us, and he sends the keeper the wrong way. We need to get a save here early because some of our penalty takers coming up are terrible. Eggleston. Oh, and he's hit the post and it's come back out, so not a save for the captain, Andy Cade Watts, but more drama to be added onto this one. Tashan Richmond, probably our player of the season thus far. Can he make himself a hero? He does. The keeper again guesses the right side, but doesn't get to the ball in time. Wilmot now, if he misses this, we are through. Oh, and he's hit the crossbar as well. So if we finish this penalty, which I'm sure we're going to hit one of the last 2 penalties, I have to believe. It's Daniel Adjie to take. He's been good since he came off the bench, picked up that assist for Ryan Adams. Can make himself a hero in this game if he puts this one away. Keeper's taking his time, but I feel like he's just doing that to be a dick. And Adjie sends the keeper the wrong way, and we go through on penalties. So probably the tightest game that we have had thus far. I do think we were the better side, but Donnelly had a fantastic game for them. But penalties, we're in our first cup final as a team. That is absolutely fantastic. Passionately. What a comeback. Superb effort. I'm going to focus on the comeback portion rather than the final portion. We'll deal with the final when we get to it. While we may be wearing a Christmas suit today, it means in a future episode when that cup final is played, we will be wearing an actual suit for that episode. I'll have to pick out what style I'm going to go with, but we've got a couple of different options. Hashtag United needs shootout in Eastern Counties League Cup semi-final deadlock. More than fair. We did have 18 shots to 5, 57% possession to 43 for them. Paul Donnelly got man of the match, and he was very impressive, I have to admit. He is one of the few actual players in their squad. 37 years old. Central defender. Played most of the game in midfield. Played at Port Vale and then through a whole bunch of different higher division teams before dropping down to the Eastern Counties Premier. We receive a further £800 for our result in that game, which is absolutely massive. I think we've earned about 2k through our cup run thus far, and I think we get about that amount again if we win the actual competition, which will be absolutely amazing. So we will be playing Galston in that cup final in a future episode. They're also a Premier Division side. They are a bit higher up in 5th place. They've got a lot more players than what we just came up against. Some of them don't look horrible, but that will be content for a future episode. We'll deal with that one again at the end of the game. We need to skip ahead now. We've got another game coming up, which will be critical to continuing our good form in the league itself. Holland in 7th spot away from home. Going to be absolutely massive. Magic of editing. We'll jump ahead to that game now. All right, and just like that, we are a couple of days ahead. Only real change that we're going to make is put Farai Ngannou on the bench for Tekka's Guru. He's just working his way back to fitness. He's probably only got 30 minutes in him, but we'd probably take Kane Brogham off late in the game, give Ngannou some time to get over his injury, and hopefully work him back into full fitness as well. But otherwise, it'll be an unchanged lineup. I was tempted to maybe give... you know what? I'm actually going to do it. Let's give Daniel Adjie a bit of a start, just to reward his performance last time out and that assist he got. And let's also give Ryan Adams a start ahead of Charlie Morley, just to reward both of their performances in that last game. I've grabbed the wrong bloke. I don't want to drop Tashan Richmond. He's been our star so far this season. Alright, if we do our suit up here again for the last game. Right, looking at their side, a couple of which are stuck behind my head. Majid in goal, Wall and Steer at the back, Walmsley on the left side, Heald on the right, Powell holding midfield with Swain and Cotton ahead of him, Ray on the left wing, Stones on the right and Cameron up top. It's another 4-3-3. We've not really been troubled by any 4-3-3 formations so far this season. So hopefully we can just keep on going, keep on trucking our way through, keep accruing points, and start rolling our way to the league title. We already have a sizable advantage, and I think that'll probably grow a little bit further by the time we actually get to Christmas if our current main form continues. Great ball to Ryan Adams here, cuts it back, but the defence gets something on it and then hooks it away. And that brings that first highlight to a close. So like immediately already, Tashane Richmond pulling the strings and playing Ryan Adams in. Bodes well for the rest of the contest. Watch it now go the entire half without another highlight, because I know Sports Interactive fucking listens in when I record these episodes and does things deliberately to spite me. Free kick now. It's taken by Cameron for Holland, but just over the top. What did we just say about no more highlights? And so far we've seen one free kick in 30 minutes of football. Ball forward now. Brougham's going to tidy up. Cuts inside, finds Tashane Richmond, who looks for Ryan Adams again in behind. Is he going to strike it himself? He does. It's a good save from Majid, and then scrambled away by the wall back there for Holland. Williams to take the corner now. It's towards back post. It's headed away. Harry Honesty should get to the rebound first, and does. He's turning around and going himself here, going past 2 or 3 men. He wins us another corner. His cross deflected off the fullback and in behind. Tashane Richmond will now take the corner on the other side. Played forward towards Harry Honesty. There wasn't really much going on in the box, to be fair. We still haven't done anything with our defensive or attacking set-piece routines, and we probably should do that. From what I can see in other people's series, set pieces are super important. So we'll sit down and we might commit some time to doing that in a future episode, sorting them out and getting some routines going. Cade Watts to take the goal kick now. It might have been a free kick for offside, actually. Swain now with the ball. Comes forward, switches it out to the right-hand side to Stones. Moves forward now as Ricky Evans steps to him and wins the ball back pretty easily. Evans now plays Tashane Richmond. Crossfield switch towards Ryan Adams. There's 2 backstick runners if he can find them. Hangs the ball up towards Daniel Adji. The big man up top gets his 9th goal of the season. A fantastic assist there from Ryan Adams. But this is just good play. Good crossfield switch. Good discipline in staying in our shape. If Adji hadn't have scored this, Harry Honesty was lurking behind him. Albeit Harry Honesty facing the wrong way for whatever reason, but I will take the goal. Williams to take a free kick now, played forward towards Hersett, who gets something on the header, and it's just wide, but the goalkeeper was scrambling. Just the 1 minute to be added on at the end of the first half, and dare I say it, with how quickly it's gone, the referee is likely to call half-time at the moment, and he does. Alright, Calmly, you've played well so far, but there is room for improvement. I do think that is how things have gone so far. Our stat line is well and truly ahead of them, but you would like to see us turn the screws a little bit more, get a couple extra goals and really put the game to bed so that we can make some subs. Alright, we're at the hour mark, so let's just pause it there. And some of these match ratings aren't great. Ricky Evans isn't having the greatest game, but we took Tekka's Guru off the bench. Kane Brougham's not playing that well, so it's probably a good time to bring on Farai Singano. Harry Honesty having an uncharacteristically quiet game, so we'll take him off for Charlie Morley. And then for our other sub, we might take off Ricky Evans, push Jack Harrison into midfield, and bring on Jamel Hakeem, who, to be fair to him, has been patiently sitting there, not playing a tremendous amount of games over the last few months. And let's just say I think there's a lot more to come from you. I completely believe you've got what it takes, and we'll confirm that talk. And then we're also going to switch to our cautious mentality and just wait for some opportunities on the break. And then I'm also going to demand more from everybody, because it always seems to get the most out of the team. And hopefully in the last 30 minutes here, we can start putting some stuff together. You can see immediately, focused after the feedback, so everyone's responded well to that. We'll see what sort of impact Charlie Morley can make coming off the bench. Lee Hersett picks up a yellow card, which is a bit of a concern given his role in the team. We actually haven't had anyone sent off so far this season. Touch whatever wood is around you, because I know Sports Interactive is fucking listening. Here we go. Here's Lee Hersett's second yellow card coming up. I can feel it. Singano plays a ball forward towards Walmsley. It's a knocked ball in behind. Marcus Stamp should get there comfortably. It goes back to Andy Cade Watts, who's got heaps of time. Goes a long ball forward towards Daniel Adji, who does well to win the header, actually. Walmsley plays it back, only as far as Jack Harrison, though. Out to Adams on the right-hand side. Comes to Tashane Richmond at the 10. Ball in behind towards Daniel Adji. He's got no angle to aim at all. Cuts it back for Tashane Richmond, and his 12th goal of the season. Fantastic assist there from Daniel Adji. Held the ball up really well. Didn't commit too much to trying a dead angle shot or a cross that wasn't on. Just turned himself around. laid it back into the 6-yard box, and it's a great supporting run from Tashane Richmond, to be fair, and on his left peg puts that one high into the far side netting. So the keeper could not get to it even on his best day, and we go 2-0 up. I'd love to get one more. I think 3-0 would be a decent performance given that we played a midweek fixture, and albeit a fixture that was very, very important for the team itself. Alright, wasn't to be, it doesn't look like, for the third goal, though we are in 3 minutes of added time, only 90 seconds remaining. It seems to be going down really pretty quickly. I don't think we're going to see too much more in terms of highlights. Healed now with a throw-in for Holland, played to Stones, long ball forward, tidied up by Jamel Hakeem without any real dramas. Adams now on the right-hand side. Is the referee about to call full time? He does indeed. Daniel Adjei on top form, highlighted by the commentary team there. Did pretty well. A goal and assist to his name is a pretty good return for a 2-star player in this division. Dressing room. Just going to say, a good win, boys. Well done. Not our best performance of the season, but still, a win is a win, and I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth, so to speak. Or I guess a Christmas gift, given the setting of this episode. Hashtag United Hammer Holland. That's really great alliteration from whoever wrote that headline. Adjei and Richmond with the goals. Ryan Adams actually got player of the match for a 7.8 rating and 1 assist. We had 55% possession, 12 shots to their 2. Our winning streak continues, 7 matches won in a row. We haven't lost in our opening 16 games in the league itself. Let's have a quick look at our schedule here. I think I already know when the next episode will be. We're likely going to come back and play late in January, so quite a bit. We'll play 4 games or 5 games off screen, which is the most I think we've done thus far in the series. White Ensign at home, who are currently in 6th but look a decent side. And Galston in our first cup final, the League Cup for the Eastern Counties divisions. We're playing them away, or is it away? No, neutral venue, sorry, at the Robinson Heating and Plumbing Stadium. Go straight to penalties if it's level at the end of 90 minutes, as we just saw in the semi-final competition, but our first chance to get some actual silverware. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. I got my Christmas gift, which is a cup final appearance, so I am thrilled. If you're enjoying the series so far, feel free to hit that like button or put your feedback in the comment section below if there's something that you want to see done differently or improved upon or whatever else. I will respond to every comment that I get. More than anything though, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I have been Sean. I'll see you guys in the mixer, and as always, don't forget to hashtag it.